Sup thoughts, Jeremy here. Today we're talking about Elden motherfucking Ring. This game is absolutely fucked, but in a good way. Elden Ring is an action role-playing game according to our all-knowing lord. It was created by From Software, the fellas and fellettes that brought you the anus-roasting titles such as Dark Souls. We'll dive right into it because I don't want to keep you all from beating your Strombolis. Starting with the story. There was a dumbass god called the Greater Will. He made a thing called the Elden Ring that preserved order and peace or some shit. A goddess named Marika broke it because her McDonald's order was wrong. Then her dumbass demigod kids took the shards of the Elden Ring and started trying to kill each other over them because apparently it grants more power than the mitochondria. But they are all equally trash at war, so it was a stalemate, but the people of the land suffered because of it. Then the Greater Will called on some exiled dudes and was like, yo, if you want to be the ruler of these hairless apes, kill these ass clowns that took the shards and shove them up your ass, fart, and boom, you're a god. The exiled dudes are called Tarnished, and you're one of them. The world was created by George R.R. Martin, author of Game of Thrones. Slow down, keyboard warriors, with your "actually, he made a song of ice and fire, cause I don't give a flying fuckaroo." You can play with a controller, there's no crossplay. You can play this sadistic masochism simulator on PC, Xbox Series X, PS5, Xbox One, PS4, but not Nintendo Switch. Of course, here's the menu settings. Pause or slow down if you want to read them. As for graphics and art style, for only needing a 1070 GTX, this game looks great. Not only that, but the art style is spectacular. Each zone has its own shtick. Caelid is like this desert place that got corrupted and now has disgusting rot pools on the surface. The mountaintop of giants is this snow area with all these plateaus, bridges, and shit. The crumbling Farum Azula is a sick-ass fortress in the sky. You get the point. There's unique environments that look great. Now for mechanics and gameplay. You can ride your dumbass goat horse thing that can double jump, but does not save you from fall damage. You can sprint, jump, roll over like a good boy, swing the weapon in your left hand, swing the weapon in your right hand. You can swing both weapons if you have two of the same type. Who gives a fuck? There's no police here. You can jump and swing your weapon, cast spells and incantations, use Ashes of War, which are weapon abilities, shoot a bow, block with a shield, stab shit while blocking, drink health, drink mana, drink interchangeable utility, hit him with the old sneak attack, parry enemy attacks, and fast travel. But what is there to do in Elden Ring? Well, a whole fucking lot. My god, this game is practically overflowing with content. If you direct your attention to the wiki map, yeah, all these icons are things you can do. The game is open world and you can literally just pick a direction and find a billion things to do. For an average gamer who works for a living, 100%ing this game would take months, possibly years. There's dungeons to explore, bosses and mini-bosses to kill, shit to pick up, and NPCs like Mr. Pointyhead over here to tell you to do shit. You can also craft. It's pretty simple. Pick shit up, smash it together, make things. Elden Ring, like its predecessors, is a difficult game. You will die many times. There is no easy mode. Enemies have difficult to avoid bullshit attacks and abilities, and you need to rely on skill, muscle memory, and a bit of luck and reaction time in order to succeed. There is no quest log. There's no objective markers besides NPC symbols and sites of grace, which are basically like bonfires from other From Software games. The game does not hold your hand. In fact, if you so much as reach for the game's hand, it will hack your arm off and use it to reenact a certain scene from Brokeback Mountain. There's a vast selection of enemies for you to fight in Elden Ring. While there is some copy and paste and reskins, I have about 70 hours in the game and I am still coming across new enemy types. There's basic enemies that can be anything from dumbass blobs to giant crabs to rat swordsmen to archers with forearms so they can shoot two bows at once. There's dragons which will drag their nuts across your face if you dare to challenge their right to live. Regular bosses, some of which are accessed via traversing the piss wall, and shard bearers which are also typically behind a piss wall. They are the bosses you need to kill for the main story in order to collect their shard of the Elden Ring to ascend to lordhood, and they're tougher than the guy behind Reddit comments about fighting. Being an RPG, you want to get loot to make sick builds, be strong enough to defeat your foes. Get new gear and runes by defeating enemies or just finding them laying on the ground. Runes serve as currency items as well as XP to level up. As for character customization, you've got weapons and shields, some of which can cause status effects. You also have things called Ashes of War attached to them. As mentioned previously, Ashes of War are essentially weapon abilities. Here's some examples. For the most part, you can assign Ashes of War to whatever weapon you have as long as the weapon and Ash are compatible. Also, some special weapons have unique Ashes of War and they cannot be changed. You can also upgrade your weapons at John Trogvolta over here. Upgrades cost smithing stones as well as runes and make your weapons do more damage. Then you got armor in the form of helms, chest pieces, gloves, and boots. If you wear armor that's too heavy, your rolls suck. Anyway, armor gives you resistances to different damage types and status effects. Below that is talismans, which give you different effects like these. Next, your flasks and other consumables. Finally, spells and incantations. They cost mana and fuck shit up. Or they can unfuck your allies and yourself by healing. Then finally, you level up and get stat points. Every spell and weapon scales better with certain stats than others, so obviously you'd want to dump your points accordingly. And there's absolutely zero microtransactions. But the real reason to wear armor in this game is for the drip. As for multiplayer, it works similar to other From Software titles. This is your makeup kit. Put it on to enable multiplayer. Once multiplayer is enabled, you can see piss rocks on the ground from people who used a tarnished furled finger. Slap them and you summon in some help. If you die, the game is over. If your help dies, you can fight on. You can have up to 2 helpers. However, once you're in multiplayer, enemies can stroke their bloody finger in order to invade you. If they are nearby and close to your level, they can attempt to kill you. You can use the duelist furled finger in order to allow others to summon you to a duel. The small golden effigy and the small red effigy allow you to be summoned to nearby summoning stone things as helpers or invader, respectively. Here's the Taunter's Tongue. Use it to draw invaders without having anybody helping you, allowing for 1v1s and 2v2s. Jizz sprites show up when other players were nearby recently to show you that you're not alone in that area, only in real life. And lastly, you can put some spooge rocks on the ground and leave a message for other players. Troll or don't, nobody's going to arrest you. I didn't encounter too many glitches in my hours of gameplay, just this one where the game crashes every time I try to put on Radon's gauntlets. Oh, and this isn't a glitch, but you can kill NPCs and it'll fuck up their quest line and you won't be able to do it, so be careful of hitting them by accident. To recap, combat is fun. It can get kind of annoying because some highly mobile bosses will make your camera have a stroke. The game looks good. You are heavily rewarded for exploration. This is the most non-linear game I think I've ever played. Character customization, good. However, I wish they would have done a bit more with armor, personally. It would be cool if armor affected gameplay a bit more aside from just increasing resistances. Maybe add gem slots to increase stats, enhance Ashes of War and spells, or enhance status effects you apply. The story and lore of the game is solid, however, a lot is figured out by listening to NPCs talk, so if you're a lore aficionado, make sure you exhaust every piece of dialogue and read every item. There's many unique enemies for you to fight, so combat does not get stale. The game is hard and kind of bullshit at times, but if you like a challenge, you will enjoy this game and the satisfaction of killing the boss that you've been trying to kill for 2 days in a row. On our patented 0 to 1 scale, we rate this game a 0.95 out of 1. This game should be used as a template on how to make good video games. Fuck, it's good. Probably Game of the Year good. The game came out complete, the game has original magic, original enemies, weapons, story. From Software took the Dark Souls formula and expanded on it with this open world masterpiece, instead of slapping the same bullshit from last year on a game and yelling sender. Oh, and let me just say that I think it really speaks to the state of the gaming industry that I'm sitting here praising a game that came out complete. Every game should come out complete. Anyway, if you like listening to our dumbass voices talk about video games, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment what game you would like us to review next. Good night, I love you all, and don't forget to take out the garbage this week.